Hi guys, just got to the end of editing this video and I just very quickly wanted to preface it by saying this is not really a guide on how you should be leveling your units, it's more just an explanation of how I managed to burst level my new seasonal units, because it's a question that I get asked a lot. Anyway, back to past Evo. Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another video on Conqueror's Blade. So, it is currently Monday and the Chevaliers have just released into the game. And one thing that I always get asked about whenever a new unit releases is how do I level them up so quickly, because I can normally get them on day one basically to max level, something that comes up every time. And I wanted to basically just record a little bit and go through how I do that and how that works. It's not necessarily going to evolve for everyone. You know, you've got to remember I've been playing this game for 3 years now, 3.5 years, however long it is, so it's a lot easier for me to do. To briefly cover, obviously, day one, I'm paying sovereigns to unlock them, because otherwise you wouldn't be getting a video on them for like 3 weeks time, because I work full time and I don't have that much time to play, so unfortunately, yeah, we do have to do that. Although I hasten to add that it's through my own sovereigns. We don't get sovereigns from my games or anything. It's not free, I pay for them myself. So the actual unit itself, I've already got them to level, what are we, level 13 now, because I slightly forgot to record this a little bit earlier than I wanted. But that's all in one move. So how this works, every Sunday evening at midnight, the week resets in Conqueror's Blade. So that means at the end of that week, everything resets, and units, new seasonal units, always release, at least in the UK and the EU, on Monday at around midday. So that means you always get the weekly reset just before your new unit comes out. So up here is something called Shared Unit XP, and you can store 1 million of this. Now I'm lucky to have, well, pretty much every unit in the game now. There's 1 or 2 little things I haven't got. I think of a few promoted units that I haven't re-unlocked, but pretty much every unit. So I'm always saving my Shared Unit XP. So for example, this week on Sunday, I got this up to 1 million. So I went into the new week, so this morning I logged on and I got 1 million Shared Unit XP. Then the first thing I did, as soon as the Chevaliers unlocked, I can get them straight to level 12. And that's without doing anything this week. I'm not using anything up. Then immediately after this, we're going to be going on to Bandit raids. So I've done a few of them already, but these are the most efficient way that you can earn experience in the game. You can only do 5 per week, which is why it's super important why I mentioned the fact that it's Sunday, because that means I could do these, for example, Sunday night, and get my stored Shared Unit XP up to 1 million, or I'll certainly get up a lot higher by doing these Bandit raids. And then when you log on Monday morning, they have reset, your 5 is reset, so I can throw that 1 million XP I've just earned in Bandit raids on Sunday straight into the Chevaliers, and then I've got another 5 Bandit raids I can do. Now, because these Bandit raids are so efficient, you really want to try and maximise them as much as possible to get the most out of them. There are a few ways of doing this. If you're lucky enough to get any of these Super Battle XP cards, you sometimes get them from drops, from chests. You can buy them, but I tend to just save them. Whenever I get these, I never use them on normal siege battles. These give you a 100% boost to XP. Should only be using these in Bandit raids. If you haven't got any of these, then you should certainly be able to get your hands on the 10 Battle Unit XP cards. If you haven't got any at the moment, you should be able to get some from the seasonal store. If you press F5, go over to your seasonal store. Somewhere near the back, there's some here. You should be able to get 5. Now, don't use them in ordinary sieges. Save them for the Bandit raids, because it's going to make such a big difference. And now, finally, you also get these Marshal's Handbooks. You get them from a variety of things, from quests, from sometimes from opening random chests and things like that. Always save them, and I only ever use them again on the Bandit raids because these stack with other XP cards. So I get 100% unit XP bonus from this. I then get a further 50% bonus from this, so I'm up to 150%. I'm running a premium account, so that gives me another 30% on top. And then on top of that, I am bringing a mercenary unit with me. In my case, this is the Martellatori. So only 30 leadership, these guys here. So that adds another 10% onto the unit XP gain. So you get the idea, we get quite a lot of experience from doing these Bandit raids. So let's go and finish off these last 3 Bandit raids now. The Bandit raids themselves are really extremely basic. Nothing complicated about it. You're just fighting AI. There can be quite a lot of them. You can get overwhelmed and killed by them, but you can always respawn, so take a few units with you. The only thing to note is, obviously in this case I brought my Chevaliers with me, partly because I'm actually just playing around with them, kind of seeing a little bit how they behave, but also you have to at least spawn with them once for them to gain experience in the battle. It's obviously fine because I want to get shared experience as well, but you might as well bring the unit with you in battle. If you want the unit itself to get experience, you have to at least have them out, you know, at least once. You could just take them out of the supply point and then immediately swap to a different unit, that's fine, but remember you actually have to have them out, not just in your battle inventory. Other than that, just work through these and you should join me at the unit reward page. So it's important to remember that Bandit Raid rewards aren't really based on performance. As long as you get a half decent game, you'll all be getting the same amount of reward. It's based on what cards, boosters, premium account, mercenary unit, etc. So to kind of break this down, so the Chevaliers themselves, because I brought them out, they got a 34,579 base experience. On top of that, they got 10,373 from my premium account. And then they got an extra 55,326 from those XP cards, from that 100% booster and the extra 50% plus the 10% from the mercenary unit as well. So that means the unit got 100,278 experience just from this one battle. But that's not all. We also get shared unit experience, for which we got 46,681 base shared experience, another 14,000 from premium, and then another 74,688 from the XP cards and the mercenary unit, which means I've got a total of 135,373 shared unit XP. So from this one bandit raid, we've gained 235,650 experience. And obviously you can do 5 of them, so that means for the 5, which you can do within half an hour, that means you gained 1,178,000 experience, which once you're onto sort of the upper levels, and it's 300,000 XP per level, it's about 4 levels. But remember, because the week resets on that Sunday night, you can do these the Sunday evening, so you can basically gain 1 million before. As soon as the unit unlocks Monday, spend the 1 million, then you repeat your another 5 bandit raids, because it's a new week, so your 5 is reset. So this is how you can gain over 2 million experience within about the case of an hour, which is why I can really burst level these units up to a good base point, and then, as in a minute we'll be going on to unit XP cards, I'll have enough cards to be able to get to the max level with the unit. So that means by the end of the bandit raids, and by the end of the 1 million XP I brought forward from last week, I can essentially get the unit up to 15. So we're halfway there, and we actually still have another 200,000, so almost up to 16 essentially. So we'll just throw a few bits into the veterancy line and keep moving them on up. So how are we going to get the remaining bit? Well, this essentially all comes down to unit XP cards. And this probably isn't super helpful for you if you're a new player. And I guess that's kind of the case a little bit of the whole video. I just kind of wanted to really explain the process of how it works, at least for me. So what are unit XP cards? Well, if we go over to my inventory, you can see them up here. They basically give 5,000 shared unit experience per card. And that's the key point. So how have I got 1,000 of them, and how do you actually get them? Well, essentially there isn't really any way to buy them. That's the first thing. There are a few little bits you can get in the shop. There's like the military training box. It gives you like 15 and then it gives you like 3 a day or something like that. It's just not worth it, really. The little bit that you're going to get is nowhere near the sort of worth the cost. So there's no real way of buying them. But there are a number of ways of getting hold of them, and these kind of all accumulate together. Now, initially, it's actually just unlocking the units. So if we go over and actually have a look at the Chevaliers in the seasonal unit tree, you'll see that each time you unlock each stage, getting 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 120, another 2 15s, and I've actually only gone this far down the tree because it costs quite a lot of money to do this, and I don't want to spend too much money. But ultimately, throughout the rest of the season, I'll get these guys to level 30 today. But that means onto next season, onto season 12, I'm going to be carrying another 240 unit XP cards forwards just from this bit alone. Another 40 there, another 40 there. So you can see how they, on their own, stack up. And this is also true of things like the banner guards. We see the same thing. more unit XP cards, and the same on the Alchemist. So you get these stuff from each of the seasonal units as you unlock them. But there's more. If we head over to the Fame store here, and we actually open the Fame store, you'll see here I've actually brought them, but you can basically buy another 100 from the Fame store that earn relatively early on, so there's really no reason why anyone shouldn't be able to get these. That's going to add another 100 to you, and obviously I'm doing this every season to make sure I always go for these unit XP medals. There currently actually isn't an event on, but sometimes whenever there's these sort of events on, you get things like here. Okay, there is actually one for tomorrow, sign in. You're going to be getting 15 unit XP medals for signing in. I actually haven't got one here, but there was the 21-day seasonal sign-in, and at the end of that you got a Signa Colon box. You could pick 100 unit XP medals, or you could unlock a tier 4 unit. So I'm saving those 100 XP medals. Sometimes you get them in chests, a few little random ones. Anytime there's any event where I can earn unit XP medals, spend any sort of in-game currency to get them, I'm making sure I do it. And that essentially builds up this stockpile of unit XP medals that I can then use each time. So then obviously we can go over to the unit and actually spend these to finish off the leveling up process. So actually once you're into the unit, you can add them on here. You can just use the unit XP medals in this section, and then you can use it to actually just keep leveling the unit up essentially. It does take quite a few unit XP levels to do this. Oops, too few many. And it is going to basically use the bulk of my medals to get this unit up to the level I want it to be, which is obviously going to be max level. So let's just get through the last few ones of these, use them, use my last of my medals, and that should take me to 30. And there we go, we've maxed out the unit. Now that isn't going to be very helpful for 95% of the players out there, because you're not going to have access to these unit XP medals. But I kind of just wanted to explain how it works, at least in my case. It is important to try and get access to these medals when you can, and the bandit raids are really the best way of earning unit XP. So make sure you're doing these weekly. And remember that this shared unit XP, you can save up to 1 million at once. You don't have to spend it all at once. And if you've got a unit that you know you're about to unlock, you can save this unit experience so you can spend it more efficiently all at once. Elsewise, remember you are going to be getting good unit XP for every battle that you go into. You can make use of some of these battle experience cards, which do help, but do make sure you save some for your bandit raids, because they make a far bigger difference there than they do in something like this. Anyway, hopefully it's kind of been vaguely informative. I kind of feel like it's going to be a not particularly helpful video, but since it's just a question that comes up so much, I kind of just wanted to at least explain how it works for me. Any other questions about unit leveling, do let me know in the comments down below and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next one.